Okay, so in this chapter we are going to bake ambient occlusion maps, and you can bake your ambient occlusion maps in many different programs. You can bake it inside Maya using transfer map, and you can use Xnormal, and these days you can probably do it inside a Substance Painter. At the beginning I will bake ambient occlusion map for the wheel because it's simple, and I will show you my method for baking ambient occlusion map for the object like this. So let's start. I will select low poly wheel. I will export it. Of course as a OBJ. Let's go to our high poly. We have to subdivide this one. And this one too. And we can export it as a wheel high poly. So for baking ambient occlusion map for simple object like this, I will use Topogan. I am using Topogan mostly for the characters, and I will show you why I'm doing this in this little program. The program Topogan is mostly for retopology, but you can also bake many different maps like normal map, ambient occlusion map, and many others. So I want to load at the beginning my high poly. And right now I would like to, let me check this high poly. This one does not have smooth. So let's re-export this. Let's load it again. Now it's correct, and let's load scene, and this means I will load our low poly mesh. And we are going to bake, generate maps. The size of the map is 2K. I will choose medium sampling. Here I will put number of 30. I will leave cache distance to 0, and you will see our results. And of course I am turning on hardware ambient occlusion, and that's why I'm using Topogan for ambient occlusion maps, because it's generated by GPU and it's very fast and very clean. And I think this is the only one reason, because I don't have really too much controls over this ambient occlusion. I don't have that many controls like in Xnormal, for example. But for simple ambient occlusion for characters, mostly it's perfect. Skylight coverage we have to set to 100. If we go with the lower number, we might get some shadowing from the ground, and I don't want this. Here, of course, I'm leaving everything checked, and I change precision to high, and I will set the path for my map. And of course, a targa file is our destination. And let's click generate. Okay, so our baking is done, so let's go back to Maya and load our ambient occlusion map. So you can see it's almost good except these areas, but the rest of the texture is very good. So let's open this texture in Photoshop. This is our texture. I've got also wireframe for this one. And to remove these glitches, we can of course go back to Topogan and increase a cage distance. And we have to increase it until it covers all the surface of the high poly. So something like this, I think, will work, maybe more even. But because of increasing the cage a lot, we can now get some glitches around these areas here and here. So the trick is sometimes to bake two maps. The first one was this one that we've baked, and the second one will be just for fixing these glitches on the corner of the tire. So let's do this right now. Let's bake this second ambient occlusion map. Let's change the name, and we can click bake. Okay, so our second ambient occlusion is done. Let's preview this in Maya, and it looks very good, better than I've expected. I've expected some glitches here and here, but it's pretty okay. Let's open it in Photoshop. So this is our second. Actually, I would use it, but for the sake of demonstration, I will show you what I would do if I had some glitches around these areas here and here. I would just copy this second ambient occlusion map, paste here above the old one, add a mask, fill it with black color, and I will just paint on this mask the areas that are buggy, that we've got glitches on. And you can see in the easy way I can remove these glitches. So it's a very good method if you've got very complex models. Not always you are able to bake everything in one single map. So very often I am just combining few textures to get results that I want. Now we can save it as a ambient occlusion 3, for example. And is of course looking very good. So let's turn on our engine. I did the same thing for this supercharger and the air scope. So let's load our ambient occlusion map. Here it is. So of course I've used Topogun because it's fast and the results are very clean. Of course I had to fix some bugs, small bugs, but generally I'm very happy with this result. So we've got our wheels, our engine, and right now I would like to bake ambient occlusion map for the base body of the car, for this inside stuff. But I will use different method for this. We will bake it in X normal, but for doing this we need to create a cage. So in this example I will show you how to create cage for the vehicle and how to bake ambient occlusion in X normal. See you in next part.